Joining me now is retired U.S. Army Major John Spencer, Chair of Urban Warfare Studies at the Modern War Institute at West Point. He is also co-author of the book, Understanding Urban Warfare. Major, appreciate your time. Let's begin in Gaza and what's happening there on the ground. What is your sense? We're 5 weeks into this war now. What is your sense of how much longer it will take the IDF to accomplish its military objective of rooting out Hamas?
Unfortunately, I think that it would still take months for the IDF to accomplish its military mission to destroy Hamas military capability. That's people, rockets, tunnels. It would take. They've done an amazing job of going around what I believe Hamas' main defenses was, this pincer movement along the coastline to get to some of these critical objectives, or in the information space, like hospitals with Hamas military equipment and fighting from the hospitals that we've seen. But there's a lot of fighting both on the surface and underground still to be done.
So the focus right now is in northern Gaza, but at some point, do you expect the military operations to envelop all of Gaza? I mean, at the end of this war, will anything be left?
Yeah, so absolutely, I think there will be operations in the south of Gaza, and there's still ongoing air strikes in south of Gaza because Hamas moved, it has positions, has tunnel networks that run to the south as well. This is the unfortunate reality of modern urban warfare, where, as we say, you have to destroy the city to save it. When a terrorist organization embeds itself, ISIS, we saw during the campaign against ISIS across Iraq and Syria, that it looks like it was indiscriminately destroyed when it actually isn't. But that's the nature when you have an enemy that embeds in the urban terrain and uses it for some advantage and requires that amount of operation and that amount of destruction. But there will be a lot of more destruction, yes.
Okay, but what about the civilian death toll? Is that the nature of war as well? I mean, right now, the latest count, and sadly, we're talking about humans. I hate to say the count, but we're talking about more than 11,000 Palestinians, a vast majority of them being women, children, and the elderly. That is the number that we're getting from the Hamas-controlled health ministry. But you are an expert on urban warfare. Is it possible? How possible, how much more possible is it for the IDF to be even more surgical and not have this massive number of civilian casualties?
Yeah, so unfortunately, that is, again, another feature where 90% of the casualties of modern wars, just the last 20 years, is civilians on the battlefield, because combat happens in these densely populated urban areas for many reasons. There is no such thing as a surgical urban battle against a contested defending population or defending force inside densely populated areas. What you do is you evacuate as many civilian casualties as you have. And that's what we've seen the IDF do for over 4 weeks, massive efforts to get civilians out. So yes, every one of those is unfortunate, and Israel must continue to take every step possible to save human civilian lives. But it is not ahistorical to operations very similar to this that we've seen in modern times. No.
Before we let you go, Major, I want you to hear sound from Prime Minister Netanyahu, who spoke with Ardana Bash over the weekend. She was asking why not more of a longer, sustained humanitarian pause, days-long humanitarian pause. This is what he said.
That's not a pause. If you're talking about stopping the fighting, that's exactly what Hamas wants. Hamas wants an endless series of pauses that basically dissipate the battle against them. It's like the Germans after Normandy. They say, okay, let's have a ceasefire. You guys, hold off. Let us replenish our supplies.
What's your reaction to that? Does a pause longer than 6 hours, maybe a full day pause, does that really help Hamas to regroup?
Unfortunately, yes. There have been daily pauses. I saw one today that's, again, another 4-hour pause inside the combat area, letting civilians pass through IDF positions. It would give Hamas's strategy is time. It needs time for international condemnation to force the IDF to stop. So yes, it is a tough decision, absolutely. And I think we need to highlight what's going on both sides, to include the IDF efforts from delivering incubators to hospitals, delivering fuels, to doing these tactical daily pauses. I mean, Hamas can almost now count on daily pauses to move around, so there are trade-offs, absolutely.
Major John Spencer, thank you so much for your analysis. Appreciate it.